Hey, what is up? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over Valgrave again. This time I'll be going over the update 2.1.3, which introduces 3 new spells, a bunch of different nerfs, some glitches that were fixed, and a lot of other stuff. So let's get into it. 2.1.3 introduces Smokescreen, Grapple, and Impaling Shot. Personally, I love the Impaling Shot the most. We'll be going over everything in this and show you what they do, potentially what you can combo them with, and the good things and the bad things about them. Before we get in the main part of this update, let's go over some of the minor ones. So Fire Rain and Black Hole, they reduce the range of it. They also reduce the air control by 25%, so no more jumping around walls or being able to do weird just moves in the sky, which doesn't really make sense anyway, so I'm glad they fixed that. Also, they fixed the double jumping after Sword Dash and Smoke Bomb. Now let's go over the 3 new spells. You have Smokescreen, which makes a giant AoE area where it's pretty much like a little arena where nobody can see in, but the people inside can see each other. So it really isolates and makes it so you can go 1v1 against people, 2v1 against people, you can use it to get away, and all that great stuff. Then you have Impaling Shot, which Impaling Shot hits, it initially does 10 damage, but it will continue with them going in the momentum of your shot. So it will hit them, they'll continue with the momentum of the shot, and if they hit a wall, it does an additional 15. But it's really good for setting up other plays, which I really like. Next and finally, you have the Grapple. The Grapple allows you to hook on to stuff from a certain distance, or people. If you hit a person, it does 10 damage and it brings you to them. Even if they were to use a movement ability, you're able to catch up with them, it will continue bringing you towards them, no matter what. Now let me get into the details real quick and show you guys in action what these things can do. So as you see here, I'm using Smokescreen in order to isolate this guy from everyone else. Because he's in a close distance from me, I'm able to use Impaling Shot, and I can actually combo up with my Frost Arrow so that I shot him in the sky. While he was going, he couldn't do anything, and I was able to finish him off. Now sadly, Impaling Shot does not work on your friends, but Grapple does. So what I was thinking is Impaling Shot, being able to shoot your friends and carry them a certain distance, but you can't, but you are able to grapple onto them and carry yourself towards them. Now, although all these spells have their purposes and they're intended for certain things, you can use them for different things, which I find to be really cool. So, like I did here, I was able to shoot my homing spheres at them and then Smokescreen so they couldn't see the exact moment they were going to hit them, making it much more difficult for them to dodge. My favorite thing to do with the Impaling Shot is hitting people into the storm or the incoming border, whatever you want to call it. And it's really fun just to see them try to come in. You hit them, it does 10 to 15 damage depending on if you hit them out into a wall. And then they just keep trying to come in and keep doing damage. So I literally get like half my kills from this, I'm not gonna lie. And it's really funny to do this. It's also quite good, surprisingly. So just keep hitting them out and they can't do anything unless they dodge. In this situation, I was in a tight spot. I knew I had to pull clutch if I wanted to win this. So he hit me even more. I'm really low health. I'm able to hit him with the Impaling and then hit him with the Shard. And then when I put the Smokescreen up, because the Impaling continues going back, you're able to predict exactly where he'll be by the end of the Impaling Shot. I was able to hit him through the smoke. Comboing these abilities is not a good idea. They're not all meant to be comboed together. Just because they were released at the same time doesn't mean they're all amazing together. But I was able to come up with some pretty cheese combos using Grapple and Impaling. Like, for instance, hooking them in, impaling them out, and then grappling to them, kicking them, repeating, infinite combo, whatever. And there's a lot of cool things you do it. But having both Smoke, Grapple, and Impaling all together, you don't have a lot of movement abilities besides Grapple. You're not going to have a lot of damage. So it's pretty hard to have those all in your inventory at once. Now, Grapple does count as a movement ability, unless you're going to use it completely for offensive. You can have 2 different movement abilities and then have Grapple, because it does do damage, and it will pull you towards the person. If you're melee build, that will really help. But I would not advise only going Grapple. You always want to have at least more than one movement spell so that you can get away. So like I was saying before, you can see that this Grapple does damage, and it brings him just enough where I can kill him with the Impaling without him hitting the back of anything. Here's a trick for Grapple. Make sure that when you're aiming for a higher point, that it's lower than your cursor. For some reason, the Grapple when you're aiming higher is not directly on, so if you're trying to get to a higher location, and you just don't want to hit the wall and be stuck there, you're going to want to aim your mouse a little bit higher than the wall. This fight right here is why I said that the grapple and the impaling is a good combo, because you can impale them back, and then you can grapple towards them, impale them further away, and then just continue after them. It's a really nice combo together. Smokescreen, it helped in this situation, but I would have probably taken something else instead of it, because Smokescreen doesn't really work well with these necessarily. If I were to take Smokescreen, I'd probably do Smoke Bomb as well, and then get like a Homing Sphere or something of that nature. This is another reason why I love Impaling Shot. So in this fight, I'm able to just keep hitting this guy with Impaling, pushing him back so my teammate can take care of that enemy, and we're able to finish him off a lot easier this way because we didn't have two people fighting at once. In this clip, it really shows why the grapple is really good for mobility. I do have some good mobility on top of this, like the sword dash and the uppercut, but with the grapple, I'm able to keep up with this guy and eventually kill him. One downside to the grapple when you're playing that you might not notice right away is that when you use it, you cannot use abilities while you're in the process of grappling to somebody. So it's not a huge deal, but you have to wait until you're fully grappled in order to kill them. So this is another instance where I'm pushing the guy away from the fight, getting the quick kill, and I just continue on, and I'm able to find another guy over here. He is trying to run away. He actually grapples to the tree, which you can do, and I'm able to finish him off because I also had a grapple. In this fight, I decided not to go up close to him, and I wanted to stay ranged and just try to hit him back and hit him with his shots. So I actually grapple up on the wall instead of using it for offensive. I'm able to get away from him, push him back, hit him, and I'm just keeping my distance, trying to grapple to him, and then I'm just going to finish him off real quick. So I haven't gotten used to fully being able to predict where the Impaling Shot will end up and hitting that shot, but you always have the grapple where you can go right next to them, and right after you do that, and be able to finish them off. If you haven't noticed already, when you impale kill somebody and they hit something and it does the extra 15 damage, it actually doesn't count as your kill. It counts as them killing themselves. So I try to avoid that, but it's just too much fun not to do it. This guy's trying to be sneaky on top of the mushroom, so I go up. I knew I was going to take a little bit of damage, but I just wanted to push him back, and by doing that, he really took like half his health. He came down, and I was just able to do a little bit of pushing him back, pulling myself in, pushing him back, and finishing him off. Now, I am no pro with the grapple, Impaling Shot, and Smokescreen. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe the Impaling Shot has the same hitbox and speed as the hook does, so maybe that's why I'm able to hit it consistently, but overall, I'm definitely have to improve on this. There's a lot of stuff I haven't discovered with these new spells that I'm going to do, and I will be making videos about combos using them, about some funny, like the infinite combo I mentioned at the beginning. It's really fun. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can get out of situations. You can get into situations with the grapple. Same with the Smokescreen. With all the impaling, you can do the same thing. There's just so many things that this counters, like especially the AoE. The Smokescreen will really help with that, and so will the grapple. You can get out or get to somebody real quick if you're melee. And overall, I think these spells are very needed in the game, and I'm really happy to implement them. I know they have 4 more coming next week, which should also be awesome. I can't wait to see what they are. But overall, they're making some really good updates, and I'm excited to see where this game goes in the future. Because I mentioned the infinite combo build, I might as well give you guys a sneak peek. So here's the first guy I actually used this against, and I was still getting used to it, but pretty much, you hook them, you impale them, you grapple to them, you kick them, you repeat. And although sometimes you can't use the grapple because it's on cooldown, you can always use the hook again and continue the combo. This was against my brother, and he had no idea what I was doing. He actually couldn't get a hit off on me. You really can't with this, because most of the time, you're either grapple or getting hooked towards. Anyway, this has been update 2.1.3. If you haven't already checked out Valgrave Immortal Plains, please do. It's a free-to-play battle royale. And in the description below, I have links to a lot of Twitch streamers that you can also follow and watch. They're all pretty good, so you might want to. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.